see how we are dressed, me and you. We have covered our balls, that we are just like goats and dogs. It should be hiding. So this is one of the main reasons. Yes, it should be. Protect and let them be free.
Data has shown that about 3 million babies have been born through the in vitro fertilization process, commonly known as IVF. It is gaining popularity as one of the ways through which people can make babies artificially. What is the process like? What does it take to have an IVF? And which people qualify to have an IVF? Today I'm at the Medifem Multi-Specialist and Fertility Center to find all these answers for you. But before I introduce my guests, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. So you're welcome back from that short break, and I'm here with a principal fertility specialist at the Medifem Multi-Specialist and Fertility Center. His name is Dr. Nana Henaku Labi. Hello, Doc.
Hello.
So yes. Today we want to talk about IVF. I know the full name is in vitro fertilization, if I'm right.
Yes.
What is IVF?
IVF, in vitro fertilization. I think before you understand what it really means, you must know what is the normal. And the normal is any couple who want to get a baby, there are certain 4 things which have to be satisfied.
Okay.
Number 1, it's the sperm of the man. 2, the egg of the woman. The egg and the sperm, they meet in the place called the fallopian tube. So egg, sperm, they meet in the tube. That's where fertilization takes place. So in normal settings, normal life, fertilization of a woman's egg is in the fallopian tubes. After the fertilization, the fertilized egg would drop down to settle in the uterus, in the womb. So these are the 4 things which are required for any couple to get a baby: the womb, the sperm, the egg, the fallopian tubes where fertilization takes place. And then it settles in the womb. 4 things, always. But for some reason, you cannot have the fertilization inside the womb of the woman. And fertilizing an egg, or the woman's egg, with the sperm outside the woman's body is in vitro fertilization. And in vitro means outside the body. It's a Greek expression for in glass. So in vitro fertilization simply means fertilizing the egg of the woman or whatever outside her body.
Right. So when are couples supposed to go for an IVF?
Which indirectly means what are the reasons for IVF? Yeah. So after an egg is fertilized in vitro, we put the resulting fertilized egg, which is now called embryo, we put it inside the womb and let the thing grow, and eventually the baby is born after 9 months or so. Now, anything which will obstruct you from getting a baby may lead on to getting that fertilized egg outside the woman's body. Anything. And I group them into four reasons where how pregnancy takes place. So if there's a problem with the egg, itself, I start with the egg. I start with then followed by the sperm, and then where fertilization takes place, the tube, and then it settles in the womb. So I simply have to go through this for egg production. Sometimes the woman, you do everything, you are able to use, give all those things, you think everything else is normal, but no pregnancy.
Yeah.
So it eventually ends up with us bringing the egg out and fertilizing outside. That's doing the IVF. The next one is the sperm. Assuming everything is normal, and then the sperm is sort of deficient. It's not. If you introduce the sperm through the normal way, they won't be able to reach the egg itself. In that case, even the sperm, defective sperms, we can use the defective sperm in an IVF setup. Normally, you need 500,000 sperms to fertilize one egg in normal life.
Yeah.
But if the sperm is defective, what we do is we take the egg, get the best out of the sperm, which is good, mix them outside. So that becomes an IVF due to low sperm raising. And again, on the other hand, in certain situations, the sperms are so low, it cannot be used even in simple IVF setup. So we have to take one sperm, take one egg, and ourselves inject that sperm into the egg. And the process is called ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection.
Okay, so if there's a case where maybe the sperms are the problem, the woman is okay and everything, they still have to do an IVF to be able to get a baby?
Not necessarily. Okay. If all is well with the woman and the sperm cells are not good at all, unfortunately, we have to do an IVF. But if at some stage the sperms are not good, but they are not that bad, we can wash them, sift them, and do a process called IUI, intrauterine insemination. But even that, it means we are preparing the sperm to inject into the womb for the sperm to go and meet the egg inside the tube. But some are so weak they cannot. Look, you measure sperm quantity in millions. If you do a sperm check, they will tell you the normal is 10 million per mil, or 20 million and above for the whole thing. And so you wonder why all these 20 millions, but you need only one sperm. And that is where ICSI comes in, or IUI comes in. But unfortunately, if you do IUI, you don't actually see the problem if it fails, if it doesn't work. You wouldn't know. Right. Yeah, but with IVF, you can see fertilization. You can see that there's something going on. Unfortunately, the baby is not well formed, and eventually it may not happen.
So I was asking, what's the chance when I do an IVF that it will be successful? Because it's just like science. Medicine is not always
Exactly. It is not exact. You think you are succeeding. At the end of it, the whole world is about 37% chance of getting a success with the first IVF, with a single IVF. The whole world. Not certain places a little bit higher due to maybe superior conditions or techniques or whatever. It's a slightly higher, but it's ours. We are an average of 50 point something. And it fluctuates. It depends on who you are dealing with. An elderly person going through a normal IVF, the chances are not as high compared to a younger person aged in the 20s and things. If other things are okay, but an IVF is required, they have a higher chance of sometimes over 70%, 77% chance of getting pregnant.
Because I was going to ask what age it is best advisable to have an IVF.
The best age to have a baby in any woman is 22. Huh? 22 years is the best age to have a baby. Wow. This thing is stuck in my brain for a long, long time since I was. It's the best age. The younger you are, it's not that good for a young girl of 18, 19 to have a baby. Mm-hmm. The older you are, then it's going towards, women have an expiry date. From 35 onwards, your fertility potential drops drastically, declines. So if you are 35, so for instance, if you come to me at the age of 28 or 24, 6, and that you have an infertility problem, it will take time to go through. But if you are already 35 plus, we wouldn't give you the normal time that people expect you to get pregnant. No, we'll start investigating immediately. Because as the older you are, the less likely your fertility potential.
That's very interesting, quite intriguing. 22 years is the best
age for having a baby.
And the longer it takes, the higher your chances.
Yes.
Yes. So, how's the procedure like? Is it painful? Is it stressful?
Okay.
Is it expensive?
Let me start from the bottom. Expensive, yes, it is. But
can you give us
comparatively to other nations, I think we are very cheap in Ghana.
Like how much?
Normally, in the US, for instance, you spend more than $15,000 to go through an IVF procedure. Ghana is roughly about $5,000. Dollars. Max, dollars, roughly. And it depends on various units. There are some units which we all differ a bit, but averagely, in fact, I was estimating, we were much less than the $5,000, but and because the exchange rate, that's a problem. Mm-hmm. But that's the average cost of. We don't charge in dollars; we charge in cedis. Okay. Then, in fact, I was having headache. I was taking paracetamol. I was squeezing my face just to take the tablets. Everything is uncomfortable in medicine, but we try to limit the pain as much as possible. Is it painful? What is IVF? How do we do it? We do that by giving you a series of injections, which takes you about 2 weeks. Every day you have to take that injection. And then once you get to a level where we are putting the baby inside, there are another series of injections until the baby is well established, which takes another month or two. So injections itself in IVF is very, very uncomfortable. People complain a lot that sometimes my buttocks is swollen and that. So that's number one, where you experience pain. Two, when it's time to go and you've produced the eggs, you've got to collect the eggs from the woman, and that is called egg retrieval. That's the second part of IVF. And of course, we use some long needle through the vagina using an ultrasound to prick. So it's not a major operation. It's an uncomfortable situation where you use a needle to go and aspirate all the eggs. And after that, 20, 30 minutes, they are gone. They go home. After that, but the procedure is uncomfortable. So we give you something called conscious sedation. Conscious, you are sort of, but you are fully sedated, no pain, nothing, and it's a very brief period, normally not more than 20, 30 minutes for the egg collection, depending on the number, some 10. So yes, that bit is a bit uncomfortable, so you feel some pain. Your eggs are fertilized outside, and 5 days later, we have to put the eggs into the womb. And that one, it's ideally it's not painful. It's just like having a normal relation with your husband. You know, you feel something being down there. Minutes, seconds, you push the baby inside.
So how is sperm collection like from the man?
How do we collect the sperm? We don't put needles and things like in the woman, but the main source is from masturbation. You know what that is?
Yes.
Have you done it before?
I'm not a boy. I'm not a man.
So they masturbate and then see the fluid coming out, and sometimes it's very difficult for the clients, the patients. And I'm sorry, I made a joke with it, but some need their wives to come and help them to do that. We resist or whatever you call it, from having sex in order to produce the sperm. That you lose a lot, especially the initial sperms, you know. You may lose them, but that's where the concentrated things may be.
Okay.
So having sex to produce sperm, it's you don't advise. On the other hand, there are certain cases where there is no sperm. Normally, we have to dig into the testis area and aspirate some sperms. This is a special condition where there are no sperms even when they make their normal ejaculation. No sperm. So we have to find some sperm around the testis there and aspirate to use it to do the IVF.
Right. Thank you very much. At this point, we'll go for a quick break where we speak to one of the people who have undergone IVF. She'll share her experience with us and how the whole process was for her. When we come back, we'll speak more to Doc. So currently I'm with Akosia. She's had an IVF procedure and she was successful. So she's going to share with us what she went through, how the process was like for her. Hello Akosia, and thank you for speaking to us today. So I just want to know how your IVF process was like.
Oh, by God's grace, I would say mine has been successful all the time. because I think I first came here 2014, and I'm in a distance marriage. So it's like, oh, you are okay, nothing is wrong, so let's give you medication. Then you try your natural cycle. We tried it up till 2017 still. Then the doctor said, then let's go and do IVF. So we've learned a whole lot of stories. When you go do IVF, first time it's not successful. You have to do multiple times, blah blah blah. So it's like I was scared, but I held on to my faith. So with my first attempt, like medication, first they'll give you medication. I think they said my problem was PCOS. Okay. PCOS. So they will give you medication to boost the eggs, then the maturity of the eggs, everything becomes successful, then they retrieve the eggs. So after the retrieval of the eggs, they're expecting that within the next 5 days, you'll be fine for them to transfer the embryos. But with my first 5 days, I had something called OHSS. With that one, you bloat, then you vomit, like you cannot even eat. You feel hungry, but you cannot eat. And it's like you are not by yourself. So because of that, I cannot take it on the 5th day. So you have to treat me and wait till the next month. So by God's grace, the next month when I came, they transferred and everything was fine. I think my first pregnancy was triplets, but along the line, it's like 2 couldn't stay and 11th one. And people were saying, hey, IVF, they will stitch your womb, do blah blah blah. But with God's grace, they didn't stitch my womb. Everything was successful. My girl is now 4 years, TikTok girl. And I think later on we said, oh, we want more. So after 2 years, we came back again to do the same thing again. That one too was successful. I had a successful pregnancy. But just that along the line, I had an ovarian cyst which ruptured. So now I couldn't control the pain with the pregnancy. So they have to remove the pregnancy. So with that, everything got a treatment. I have to take time before. Then I came again. So when I came again, it's like that one too. After the retrieval of eggs, because mostly it's like I go for 15 eggs, 17 eggs, but with this one I hated 36 eggs. So that means it wasn't easy. So I bloated. My stomach was like 8-month pregnancy. I was 5 quite. So they have to treat me again. And with that one, I was like always, I think I'm strong. So sometimes I even go home and come back for the treatment, then go back again. So with this one day, as soon as I went home, they told me I should stay because I'm not looking well. And as for then, I said I'll go home because mostly when I finish, I drive and go back home. And they said, hey, so is that what you've been doing? It's not good, it's serious. You have to stay. So I didn't stay. I didn't mind them, and I went to, oh, I fainted. So that means I have to rush back. I said it's my own assault then. But I can say when I came back, the treatment, one thing I like about them is no matter what, they have time, they have patience, they will talk to you well, and they will call you to check on you. Even I can say I have almost all of them. They are anonymous. My husband too. In case of anything, even in the night, my husband will call them. My wife is not feeling fine. They will call you, come wherever the medication is. They will try and take the medication so you'll become fine. So with that one too, I had to wait again, then come and do the transfer again. And one good thing is mostly the semen they use is not fresh because my husband is not around. So mostly it's stored semen. So just imagine the owner of the hospital will tell you that we are good because imagine the stored semen that we use for it. It's a stored semen, and even after that they have to store the embryos too for like 3-4 months before they transfer. Yeah. With some people, their man will be there, the owner, they take the semen and put it in. But with my, not that, but at the end of the day, I get successful results. Me, fine, they are doing their job. But I believe in God too. I know without God, nothing can be possible.
So one last thing I want to ask is, how was the journey like emotionally? How were you feeling about it?
It's not easy because last time I told one lady at the front desk, climbing this staircase up there, having hope. What pains me is you have to always come for injections. There is not the medication alone that you take alone. The injections alone you take, especially before they will retrieve the eggs, and after the retrieval and the transfer, you have to take an injection again. That injection, the one giving you the injection is not painful. The injection, a drone, kasana, they give it to you, and after that, you could say, "Otonya yeah." So me, if somebody is sitting somewhere and especially you come and beat my daughter there, I'll kill you. Yes, because the pain and emotionally alone. Because last year when I miscarried, it's like when I'm walking, I've been crying because after that, you have to also see the doctor, come again for that ovarian cyst that I had because of the PCOS that I have. It's likely that it will come, so it's not their fault. It's normal. The experience emotionally. Just imagine somebody sitting there. The husband is sitting beside her. The lady was crying. When I got there, she was crying. I was said, "I was say it's painful." And I said, really, it's painful. Go and ask her if it is painful. How many eggs did you get? She would tell you like 10, 15. But me, 37 eggs. Even if it was painful, I didn't cry. Who did I go and cry to? My husband is not here. My mother is not here. So I just keep quiet and lie down and fold my arms. So emotionally, it's not easy.
All right, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. She says the process, even though quite painful, is worth it at the end of the day. Let's go back to Doc and conclude the conversation. Yeah, welcome back. So I'm seated back with Doc, and this part we're going to talk about some of the controversial things that we've heard people say about IVF. What women who go through IVF are supposed to do, some of the facts, the misconceptions, and all of those things surrounding it. Doc, welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. So,
Thank you.
personally, I've heard people say that when you have an IVF, the likelihood of getting 2 or more babies is very high. I've seen someone who has given birth to 4 quadruplets, and everybody said, well, she did an IVF, and she also confirmed that she did an IVF. So what's the chance of getting multiple babies from an IVF? And if that is very true, why is it the case?
Yes. Normally, you've stimulated, you get a lot of eggs. You fertilize them. Sometimes you get as much as 10, 15 fertilized eggs, which are called embryos. So, actually, we discuss with the patient, how many do you want to put in? And some of them who have been, yearning for a baby for a long time, they will tell you, doctor, put 5, doctor, put 4. But elsewhere in the US, UK, you are not allowed to put more than 1. Ghana, we don't have a law restricting us.
Okay.
But I'll tell you soon we will have, because we are working on it. The government and then our association together, we are working on a draft to regulate these things. And yes, we put, for us, not more than 3. If anybody even wants 3, they have to take special permission from me before I agree. Otherwise, we normally put 1, 2, and yes, sometimes 3. It depends on the way we see your fertility potential. In a young woman, everything seems to be okay. Maybe due to something, the male side, or we try to limit as many as we can. You put 3, you may develop all 3. And that you have the triplets. Some they insist, they really give us tough time. They want, and even for that we make them sign. They want 4. You put it and they would develop quadruplets. But to be honest, with our standard, we find it a failure if somebody has more than 2. You failed. Because 3, 4, you see it in the, hear it in the news and all that. Really, it's not right. Because the amount of torture the woman goes through to carry these 4 babies is no joke. And why they normally end up having miscarriages. So the higher the order of pregnancy is, the more likely you develop a miscarriage. There are situations where some women themselves, from their family background and all that, they can't develop the higher order multiple babies, and that is not very common.
That is to mean that maybe just one egg was put there, but they may be able to develop twins from that.
That twinning from the one egg,
yes,
is commoner and is more, it depends more on the genetics of the, you have a person from a twinning family, it can't easily happen.
Right. So now let's talk about the do's and don'ts. When you are about to get an IVF, what should you do? What should you not do? Your lifestyle.
It's why are you going for the IVF? Whatever is preventing you from getting pregnant, if it's preventable, you should try to avoid it. Smoking, you drinking so much, even your husband always, drinking so much. And this is part of the process of not getting pregnant. Food-wise, there are several conditions which is related to diabetes, for you to have poor egg production. In that case, you have to try and, with the advice of the doctor, to try and sort of manage that situation where your egg production can be. It's a very popular situation called polycystic ovaries syndrome, PCOS they call it. And then in that case, you have to watch what you eat, so as to, limit whatever. Men, usually, when they are poor, low sperm, we encourage them to take honey. And look, see how we are dressed, me and you. We have covered our balls, but we are just like goats and dogs. It should be hanging. So this is one of the main reasons. Yes, it should be. Protect and let them be free. Then pregnancy will take place. So avoiding, the root of the pregnancy, non-pregnancy causes could help in the situation. IVF is as simple as that. We promote eggs. So even if your eggs you can't promote it because of some of the conditions I've mentioned, we are not going to succeed. Because even though we are doing it, the eggs won't come. Yes, we do get situations where no eggs are produced. And we have to cancel the whole cycle. And so anything which will make you, your initial doctors will tell you regarding do this or that to promote fertility. It's sort of required in general. There are no specific requirement that I'm going for IVF, therefore I should not drink tea, I should not drink coffee, and that sort of thing. I heard them talking about it, but
it's not true. Okay, so
there is no medical basis of it. It's just like the normal care pregnancy thing.
Okay, so can you choose the gender of your child?
Yes, it's possible, but unfortunately we don't do it in Ghana yet. I heard some of our colleagues, they've been trying. We call it pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. It means before the egg gets stuck in there, we manage to bring some out. You take a cell out of the developing embryo and study it for whatever you want to. Apart from sex typing, there are some medical conditions where you can diagnose this before the newly made embryo gets implanted. So they take them to the lab, remove one cell from the growing embryo and test it. Sorry. Unfortunately, sex typing, it's supposed to be common, especially with the Nigerians, but it's a very expensive way of going through doing what I just described, PGDs.
Yes. Finally, I want to know some of the lifestyle choices that young people can adopt to reduce infertility rates, because sometimes our lifestyles also put us at risk of not being able to produce.
Very much.
Both in men and women. So before you even get to the point where you need an artificial help to be able to produce, what can you do as an individual to be able to increase?
Yes, you learned something from me. I said the best age to have a baby is.
Yes.
So
22.
that's number one. You don't wait and keep it when you are 38, 40, then you come for a baby. And seriously, it seems the infertility has gone up, infertility problem. It's mainly due to the woman's aim to have her own career, and therefore a delay. You are postponing your fertility, and it's not only fertility issues. I'm sure you've heard about something called fibroids.
Yes.
You've heard about endometriosis.
Yes.
These are all something to do with not the uterus or the system not having a baby. So fibroids take over. Endometriosis take over. My mother had me when she was 46 years. Can you imagine? At that time, as if there are no endometriosis and no fibroids. Why? And after me, 46, there were three, a twin and a terrier. That was my mother. Now, from the little you have gotten from me, how did it occur? How 46 she was still having a baby? Because she started very early and continued every 2 years, like that.
So the spacing to is a factor.
I mean, we're talking of the scientific aspect of it. I'm not trying to be controversial, but it's a fact that as you delay your fertility thing, these diseases are mentioned, fibroid, and they take over because of what we call estrogens, which come up and they stimulate the growth of the fibroids very much, stimulate. And then at the end of it, you are struggling. Every year, every woman was born with a number of fixed eggs. Listen to this portion. At birth, you have about 1 million to 2 million eggs in you as a baby. Then, as you grow, 10, 12, 11, you have your first menstruation. That is called menarche. You have lost about 30% of your endowed eggs. And every month that you menstruate, about 40 to 50 eggs come up for only one to stick his neck out. It will also answer you, are there problems with IVF because you are producing more eggs? Is she going to be able to, the eggs that you lose during IVF or you make, you would have lost them anyway in a normal brush-up. So yes, age at which you have your family is very important. Younger girls, you should be very careful. You should be very careful not to have your tubes damaged from miscarriages, abortions, and things like that. That's very important for the younger ones. Inordinate sex, infections down there, tubal damage, eventually no baby. If, for both sides, male and females, if you had any issues about fertility, don't waste too much time. You go and see the doctor. They will assess you. And the other thing is men, they usually blame women for whatever their problems are, but they are equally culpable. But 40% of infertility is due to men.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nana Henaku Labi. He is Principal Fertility Specialist at the Accra Fertility Center, subsidiary of Medifair Multi-Specialist and Fertility Center. And he has been speaking to us about IVF, the procedure, the do's and don'ts, and things that as young people we can do to enhance our chances of fertility. My name is Stella Shanelly.
Mr. Speaker, no law that is made is sacrosanct. You do know that. Mr. Speaker, yes, we added pollution. It's one of it. Mr. Speaker, if we have to reintroduce it, and it will not be reintroduced until we don't listen. Because you have not even thought about what is intended to be done. That is why we are saying that what is intended to be done is to go the electronic way. You will not understand. That's why you're asking me what does it mean. Mr. Speaker, so the good book says, those who have eyes to see, let them see. Those who see where we are coming from know where we are coming from, and of course, because of the messianic effort of this government in rescuing us from the shambolic performance of the economy which we left. When we come to the debate, when we come to the comments on this, we are ever ready for you. We are. It's not about, we'll do it. It's because if I have to yield to begin it now, I will say I'm ready. There's nothing under your sleeve. There's nothing under your sleeve. This is not propaganda. We'll be talking to facts. We will be talking to facts, not propaganda. When you go out there, you can do your propaganda. Here is the facts and figures.
secret deeps. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Diaspora Link here exclusively on GhanaWeb TV. I'm your host, Diallo Sumbri, and I am exhilarated that you've decided to join us for another episode. Today, we're going to have a conversation with my friend, with my brother, with my mentor, with my partner, Mr. Elijah Mukram, real estate development entrepreneur extraordinaire from Atlanta, Georgia, from Dakar, Senegal, and now he's in Accra, Ghana. Let's get into it. I am super excited about our guest today on Diaspora Link. So without further ado, we're going to dive into choices so we can get into this interview. My guest today, Elijah Mukram, my brother. Yes, sir. So this is how we're going to kick this off, bro. Like, look, don't be, it's really simple. Choices. I'm going to give you two. You choose one, tell me why.
Okay.
Really simple, right? Now, you just don't know what the choice is going to be.
Right.
But I'm going to give you two. You tell me why.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yassa Poulet or Chebujin?
Yassa Poulet or Chebujin? Chebujin.
Chebujin. Why Chebujin over Yassa Poulet?
I like the fish and rice. It's just the national dish of Senegal.
Okay.
It's just delicious. I love it.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, Chebujin is the national dish of Senegal, and Yassa Poulet is probably the second running. One of my favorites. Right. It's the second national dish of Senegal. Mm-hmm. All right. Here's another one. Atlanta or Senegal? Whew. I'll be laying it on thick, don't I? Atlanta, look, you ain't gonna be able to go back to one of them. Just choose one and tell me why.
Senegal.
Senegal. Why Senegal?
My heart is there.
Your heart is there. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right. How about this? As a man from Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. And I know you grew up and you understand some sports. Even if you're not I ain't a big sports fan, but if you're a black man growing up in America, you familiar with sports. Mm-hmm. Basketball or football?
Basketball.
Basketball all day?
All day long.
No question?
No question.
Why is that?
I actually played football. I played basketball. Anybody look at me and say I'm a football guy, but I just love playing basketball.
You enjoy basketball
I
a
enjoy
lot
basketball.
more.
Personally, I really enjoy it a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one?
Okay.
You've been in Ghana a few times, right?
Yes.
You know, you've been here and out. You've had the different Ghanaian food.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Like what this guy gonna say? Wache versus Jollof.
Ooh. Wache.
Wache.
Yeah.
Hey, why Wache?
Wache is different for me. The jollof, I can get it
from
almost.
Senegal. You can get it.
Yeah.
You from the originator.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't
don't be mad.
No,
we all
don't
know
say that.
Jollof was from Senegal. That's the first Jollof is from Senegal. It's just a fact. Don't be mad at me.
But it's a war going on. The Jollof thing. It's a real thing.
Jollof war is serious.
Jollof
right?
war is real. But Wache is so different. It's so unique. I can't get it anywhere except, I haven't had it anywhere else except Ghana. Mm-hmm. And it's delicious. I love it.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Very cool. Okay. Last one. Mm-hmm. Business in America or business in Africa, and why?
Oof. So, business in Africa.
Why?
I just like the impact.
Done deal. Makes sense.
Yeah.
No explanation needed.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, every day we make choices. Even without thinking about it, we all make different choices every day. The point is, our choices that we make shouldn't further divide us. They should only serve to provide clarity for each other, to bring us closer together. So don't forget that every day you're going to make a different choice to somebody else, but don't let that choice separate you. Have that choice bring you together. Now, before we get into the interview, one more, we're going to go to top 5. This is what we call top 5, my brother.
Okay.
I know I'm hitting you over the head today. I'm going to hear about this when we get off camera, ain't I?
This is rough.
Okay, top 5. I'm going to give you 5 categories. You choose one.
Okay.
First one, give me a favorite book. It could be a favorite or just a book that changed your life that you want to share.
Okay. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. That
Yes.
changed your life.
Yes.
Okay. Is this something that you revisit?
Yes.
All the time?
About every 5 years.
Every 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, favorite food. It could be a dish or a type of food.
Okay, my favorite food
Of all time.
of all times, no joke, is groundnut soup here in Ghana.
Ooh.
Really?
Wait, did you have groundnut soup in Yame Betcha Day when you came? Next time you come, bro, I promise you we got the best groundnut soup in Ghana. I said it, all of y'all. Naomi's Fire Pot. Best ground. Look, I'm using this as an advertisement.
I'm holding you to that, too.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm holding you to that. Okay, all right.
Okay, bro. Favorite sport?
Boxing.
Boxing.
Yep.
Head over heels boxing.
Boxing.
Is boxing big in Atlanta?
Huge.
I didn't know that.
Fight town.
Any what boxers come out of Atlanta?
Oh, man, don't put me on the spot
no,
like that.
but any heavy, but I don't.
Don't put me.
But it's a heavy fight town.
Bro, Holyfield. Evander Holyfield.
Okay, there you go.
Hometown.
Say less. Say less. Say
So
less.
I saved myself. I redeemed myself. Evander Holyfield.
Say less.
Real deal Holyfield.
Real deal Holyfield. Straight
That's
out of
it.
Atlanta.
Straight out of ATL.
I got you. Favorite place to vacation in the world, whether it's someplace you've already been or someplace you want to go.
Brother, hands down, Morocco. Fez, Morocco. I said it.
Fez.
Fez, Morocco.
Fez. I think you told me about Fez before. I need to get there.
I'm just telling you.
Fez, Morocco.
All of Morocco is special, but Fez is the heart of Morocco,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, Fez, Morocco.
Yeah, that's the secret.
Okay, bro. Last one. Favorite musical artist across all genres. Look, it don't really have to be your favorite, but if you had to choose one, like I'm putting you on the spot here. I know how hard that is for us black people because we got a lot across genres. Give me one.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm listening to Little Baby.
Look, the youngest appreciate you. Look, the youngest appreciate you. The youngest like, did he say little baby?
Little Baby.
Did he say little baby?
Little Baby.
Okay.
I walk in the mornings, and I that's the only way I can move.
He keep you moving.
He keep me moving.
That's all that matters, little baby.
So that's it.
Hey, look, y'all. Remember, top 5. You're going to meet people from around the world, especially other black people throughout the diaspora, whether they're born in Africa or whether they're born in America. Instead of thinking about what might be different, find out their top 5. Make a friend. All right, I'm excited about this. Let's get into the conversation. We are back with another exciting, wonderful episode of Diaspora Link with a friend, a colleague, a mentor, and somebody I know in real life right here, Mr. Elijah Mukuru. Elijah, my brother,
Yes, sir.
welcome.
Peace, brother.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good, man. Listen, first of all, I'm happy that I caught you, even though you kind of passing through, but I'm happy that I caught you here and that you graced us with your presence on the show.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Good to be here.
Yeah, oh, of course, of course. So tell us a little bit about Elijah Mukuru, right? Like, I know you. They don't know you, right? I know your story.
Yes, sir.
You know, you ain't got to be shy here, bro. It's me and you.
Okay.
It's me and you and a million other people.
Okay.
So
No problem.
So because you're a man of the soil,
Yeah.
like myself.
Yes, sir.
We here on the African continent.
Yes, sir.
How did you get to Africa? Your first country? Just give me the story.
Well, I was blessed to visit Africa for the first time 20 years ago, and I was a guest of Sheikh Hassan Cisse, who's since passed on, in Senegal.
Okay.
I was in the U.S., and he invited me. He helped me a lot in the U.S. Our time was too short, and then he invited me to join him in Senegal for an annual gathering they call the Gamu.
The Gamu.
They call it the Gamu, but people around the world know it as the Maulid.
The Maulid.
Yeah, it's a celebration of the Prophet Muhammad's birthday. Not his birthday, but his life.
His life.
Yes, sir.
So Senegal was the first African country that you visited?
Yes, it was.
Okay, now you said that he helped you a lot.
He helped me a lot.
You said that He invited you.
Yep.
Now, had you met him before you went to Senegal?
I met him in the U.S.
You met him in the U.S.?
in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
But we had a brief meeting. It was so wonderful. His energy was so powerful that, you know, I wanted more time with him, but his time was up.
Got you.
So I made the trip, you know, to Senegal. And it was an amazing trip, first trip, and I never stopped going since then, 20 years ago.
This was 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
Now, were you born and raised in Atlanta?
Born and raised in the ATL.
Born in Atlanta. Like, hold on. Atlanta or
Atlanta.
Douglas or
No, Atlanta. Atlanta. I heard that one before too. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, on the west side.
On the west side.
West End.
On
yes,
the west
sir.
end. Because, you know, people a lot of times, they ask me, they be like, you from D.C., you from Maryland or Virginia? I'll be like, D.C. proper.
Proper, yeah, I understand.
Inside.
Me
no
too.
taxation without representation.
Exactly, sir. Me too, Atlanta proper.
So born and raised in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Grew up, whole life.
Whole life.
Whole life. Never moved anywhere else in the U.S.
Still based in Atlanta. Primarily, my family is there.
Okay.
That's my base in the U.S., Atlanta,
Okay.
Georgia. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what led you to meeting this prophet that you met in Atlanta? Was it just like when y'all was in Walmart and you bumped into him, or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm being an idiot, but you know what I'm saying? Talk to me a little bit.
I had a major difficulty in my life, and one of my best friends said, "You blessed, man, because we have a spiritual man here that can pray for you and help you." And when I met him, it was just that. Everything changed. My situation got better. It was just like, in just a matter of days, my situation improved, and I was just impressed with him and his connection to the Creator that I just wanted more time with him.
Just that simple.
Just that simple. Nothing else.
And so literally what you're telling me is you met a man, you was having some difficulty.
Yes.
You met a man. Somebody told you, there's a guy who's a spiritual leader.
Yep.
You met him.
Yes.
He prayed for you.
Yes, he
And
did.
days after he prayed for you, things got better. That's simple.
Got better. That was my situation.
Wow.
And then from there, I just wanted to spend more time. I thought that he was going to still be around. And once I found out he wasn't, I gave him a call, and he said, just come and meet me in Senegal.
Come to Senegal.
Yeah.
20 years ago, you went to Senegal.
I went, and I never stopped going.
Okay, so since then, you've been going back and forth.
Yes, sir.
So now I know a little bit about what you're doing in Senegal right now, and a little bit about that. So you are of the Islamic faith,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
Now, were you prior to meeting him, or was that something that happened in that transition?
No, my family was a part of the Nation of Islam. So at birth, we were Muslim, and my mother and dad was a part of the Nation of Islam, and then after converted to Islam proper.
Okay.
And we never looked back either on that side. So the whole family is practicing Muslim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're now living between Senegal and Atlanta.
Yes.
Tell us what you do in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, I'm a real estate developer.
You're a real estate. So for people who may not know,
Yeah.
I think development is a little bit more than buying and selling houses.
No, it definitely is.
Tell us a little bit about real estate development in Atlanta and what you do there.
So our number one business is buying land.
Okay.
It doesn't have to just be land. It could be communities, changing communities, repurposing communities, offering vision to community life. That's a part of development. It's mostly vision first. The way you see adding value to communities. As we know, African American communities especially need to be reminded of our value.
Right.
And bringing that value up. And so that's our goal. You know, we come to a community, whether it's building or whether it's just planning. That's what we do with a community. So we may buy land, we may partner with different land owners. That's a big program for us, partner with land owners, giving vision to that land and bringing that value up for ourselves and that landowner, whether we actually go out and develop that land or sell that land. Everybody understand what's the value of that land at that point.
Okay.
And we're doing the same thing in Senegal.
Right.
Nothing changed. So in Senegal, we do the same program. We partner with landowners. We buy land. We offer vision for that land, bring the value of that land up, and start to dispatch it to either individual owners or other developers or other builders to come in and finish that project. So we
are more or less land developers.
Land developers.
We're more or less land developers, and we have the same vision for Ghana. To come Ghana and do the exact same thing with a focus on bringing our African American, the diaspora, back to Ghana. That's our focus now. So we're at the very beginning of that.
The very beginning. So you started traveling 20 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Way before coming to Africa became sexy.
Yes.
Right now, coming
sexy.
to Africa is sexy.
It's sexy,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's the thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So you've seen Senegal go through some changes. You've
Yes.
seen Africa go through some changes.
Yes,
You've seen
I did.
Atlanta go through some changes. Just that whole, you know what I'm saying, 20 years ago to now. What are some of the changes that you've seen on the ground in Senegal in 20 years?
The toll road infrastructure. The toll road did something major for Senegal. It increased, being able to move about. So transit.
Okay.
And the development changed based on that transit. Being able to move from one location, from Dakar to anywhere in the country, changed the game for Senegal a lot. Moving the airport from close to the city, from close to Dakar
To further,
farther out, about an hour away, less than an hour away, to Diamniadio, changed the whole dynamics of Dakar. A lot of people protested it, but it was a great move. The leadership did a great job of, the vision was right on point with that. It just helped spread the city out some because there was too much congestion. I'm feeling that same thing going to happen here in Ghana. Too much congestion, so the city has to spread out a little bit. And that's where the opportunities are for people like myself, land developers. When you see this type of congestion, for us, it's opportunity.
Right.
We just need for government to do their part with infrastructure, and then we can go out and pick the right locations, the right pieces of land, and be ready for that improvement, that movement to come our way.
To come out for you to be able to do what it is that you do in Ghana.
We say, as developers, we say find out which way they're going and buy land.
That's simple. So that's whichever way the road is going.
Whichever way the people are going, and we want to buy land in that direction. Yeah, that's what we do.
How have you seen? It's always interesting when I'm talking with people who, let me just say pre-sexy Africa.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to come pre-sexy Africa.
Pre-sexy. Okay.
It's one thing to come before the roads are built.
Yeah.
Before the electricity is somewhat stable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you got to find your way sometimes. I remember.
Yeah.
So first of all, Senegal was also the first country I visited.
Oh, really?
On the continent in 1988.
Okay. Wow.
My mother took all her children to Senegal. We
Wow.
were performers. We performed with the National Ballet of Senegal at the
Wow.
Serrano Theater.
Oh, man, that's
I went to Seju. I went to Tamba.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, yeah.
I remember that road to Tambacounda.
My man, wow. It's like doing dodging potholes.
Right?
Yep.
It took, 8-9 hours, and
Yep.
now it takes about 6. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? How has the perception of Africa changed in Atlanta, or has it in your 20 years? Because we know a lot of different kinds of people,
Yep.
right? We know
Yep.
people in the hood.
Yep.
We know people in business. We know people
Yep.
in corporate. We know people in the African Center community.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the perception of Africa or traveling to Africa has changed from the Atlanta side?
I feel that my people back home are just so much more informed.
Okay.
They're so much more interested. I like the word you use, sexy. Africa now has become so sexy. It's been exposed more. I feel that through, the internet and people being able to navigate all over the world via internet, it has caught their interest. I feel also that the country of Senegal, the country of Ghana has done, especially Ghana, has done an amazing job of being so inviting. Like you said, 20 years ago when I came, the roads was bad. And now when you bring guests, because I'm always looking to bring a guest and expose people to the real deal of Africa, put their feet on the ground. And when you bring a guest and the roads are better, they feel like, wow, this ain't bad. I can live here. So I'm getting more of that. When we first got started 20 years ago, you bring guests, it was tough.
Right.
You had to be for real about it to say, I can live here, I want to come back. I want to come and stay for long periods of time. But people now, when they visit, they feel so comfortable.
They're ready to stay. They feel like they can do it. They feel like they can make that transition.
I'm telling you, man.
They feel like they can make that transition.
Yeah.
So in Atlanta, you know, do you feel like at the Atlanta community itself has changed enough where eventually, because right now there are no direct flights from Atlanta. I'm not sure if that's geographical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But do you see a large African influence in Atlanta?
For sure. I think Atlanta is amazing because it's the hub. It's chocolate city, just like D.C.
Right.
You know, black folk in Atlanta, African Americans in Atlanta got position, money, well educated, and a lot of them are well exposed. So, and the more of us that's visiting with that exposure to Africa is just helping the whole movement. But definitely I've seen so many different changes as far as my people in Atlanta, their perception of Africa, and then their readiness to say, hey, I want to go not only visit, but I would love to go there, man, and spend some time and stay and do business. And that's the difference.
Right.
Before it was just all about tourism. I just want to go visit.
Right.
The whole tone has changed now to doing business. Everybody's talking about how can I do some business in Africa? How can I do business in Senegal, Ghana? You know. So I think that's what I'm seeing. The big difference is move from a touristic type of thing to a business move, an investment move, retirement move. You know, it's just better. And I think that so many different things are happening that's really helping that movement. COVID, I believe, helped that movement.
Okay. So you feel like COVID in the U.S.
helped
people say, you know what?
I got to get out of here.
I got to get out of here.
I got to get out of here. Because, you know, when you look at the situation, we got more people. We have so many people that lost their lives, people sick, even in my family, very sick, very ill, on the verge of, you don't know what was going to happen. And then I spent most of my time on the first wave of COVID in Africa. Did
different experience.
A whole different experience. I kind of ran away from it, did 9 months in Africa. Never had COVID so far, but most of my family did. You know, and then, not saying COVID is finished, because it's not.
Right.
But a lot of them are saying, I wish I would have went.
I wish I would have went over there with you.
It's safer. It's safer.
Right.
Yeah, it was a safer environment.
I wish I would have came to Africa with you for 9 months instead of being in the U.S.
Definitely.
You know, we're going to touch more on business. We're going to talk more on business, but I know, like I called you a man of the soil, right?
Okay, yes.
So I know that you Ghana, Senegal, but you've also visited other African countries.
Yes,
correct?
I have. Yes, yes.
So what are some of the other African countries you've been to?
I've been to Kenya. I've been to Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Egypt. We don't consider Egypt. Sometimes we forget.
You know, everybody people forget that. Yeah, like, how do people forget that Egypt is in Africa? Like, I've never questioned that. I've never questioned that. So, listen, before we go to the break, we're going to play a little game. You weren't expecting this, but we're going to see where you at. All right? I ain't tell you about this. Exactly. Okay, so now we're going to go to Africa in 60. Africa in 60 is where we quiz our guests and see how many African countries they can name in 60 seconds.
Oh, my goodness, man. Are you doing that to me?
Yes, we're going to do that to you right here and now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You ready? You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We got our timer? We're counting down with our timer? All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, Morocco, Egypt, Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda, South Africa, okay.
Keep on going. We got some more time. You got north. What's on the southern part?
On the southern part. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you also got Botswana. Okay, and you also have Guinea. We talked about Guinea already. We talked about Ghana. We talked about Benin. We talked about Togo. We talked about a little island outside of Senegal, which is
I can't give you
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. Okay.
Right? Cape Verde. Okay. And
what about the east side? How many? 8. Okay. What's on the east side?
On the east side, we got Uganda. We got Kenya. We got Rwanda.
Okay. Okay. That's it, bro.
That's it.
Hey, look, man. Hey, listen. You in the air there?
Wait a minute. I gotta get you now. You didn't get me ready for that one. You tricked me on that one. I wasn't ready.
Listen. So at least they know. Now they know.
Yeah.
We really don't prepare you. Like we really.
For sure. I wasn't.
We really don't tell you.
Nobody told me about that one.
Exactly. So again,
surprise.
ladies and gentlemen, we do Africa in 60 because we really want people to know how vast of a continent Africa is. Yeah. 54 countries, so many nations, so many ethnic groups, so many languages, and too many people in the world still feel like Africa's a country. So we want to thank our guests for playing Africa in 60 with us.
That's wonderful.
We'll be right back after this, and we'll continue the interview with Brother Elijah Bukuru. Peace, global African family. My name is Diallo Sumbri. I'm a co-architect of Ghana's Year of Return 2019, and I'm the president and CEO of the Adinkra Group. For the past 5 years, we've been bringing loads and loads of people to Ghana. Many of them, their first time on the African continent, their first time putting their toes in the African sand, in the African soil. And so many people have had their life changed. Our birthright journeys are curated cultural immersion journeys centered around reclaiming cultural identity, exploring your ancestral heritage, and celebrating African resilience. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Birthright Journey Partner Program. It's really simple, and you really don't have to do much, other than email us at info@theadinkragroup.com. Now, what makes a great Birthright Journey partner for our program? Are you a leader? Are you an influencer? Are you that person that your family calls on to organize, or do you automatically know that that's your job? Are you somebody of status in your community? Are you a community leader? Are you that person in your church or in the school? If you are the ideal Birthright Journey partner. Do you believe that every person of African descent should have an opportunity to touch ground on the continent of Africa? If you are, then you are the ideal Birthright Journey partner. It's simple. We're going to show you how you can travel to Ghana for free. Not only can you travel to Ghana for free, but you can actually get paid to travel to Ghana. Really simple. Just contact us at info@theadinkragroup.com and set up a discovery call. You'll get to travel with your family and friends, you'll get to travel with your community, and the best part of it is that it'll be free for you. Or you'll even earn money doing it. So again, info@theadinkragroup.com. We look forward to seeing you in Ghana. We look forward to dancing with you in Ghana. We look forward to eating fufu, eating jollof, eating wache. Make sure you contact us now, and we would love for you to become a Birthright Journey partner. Madasi. And we are back with our guest, Elijah Mukarum, here on Diaspora Link, exclusively on GhanaWeb TV. Elijah, so, great job with Africa in 60. Like, we know how that blockage hits you, right? And just think about it, though. Think about how many people you may have run into or met in your lifetime who really didn't understand how large Africa is.
I know, brother. It's kind of sad.
You know?
I mean, it's almost every day someone say, bring me something back from Africa. It's like,
bring
something back from Africa.
From Africa? Which part of Africa? Just you know, I met a guy, my wife and I was at a party, we met a guy, he's like, oh, you from America? He's like, yeah. He's like, so you know Larry? And we just looked at each other and said, Larry from America? That's who you talking about? Like, it was like, bro, he's from Spain, but it was just like,
you know Larry.
bro, Larry.
Right.
I'm like, I know Larry McCloud, I know my man Fats.
Right.
You know Fats, you talking about Fats or you talking about somebody else?
Right.
All right, so
You know
being
Larry.
a man of the soil, how has Africa changed your life? How has it changed your life in the trajectory of your life?
Yes. So Africa made me global. And I'm so happy that it was Africa that made me global because it's a blessing. You know, we talk about, you know, our ancestors and what they prayed for. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in another direction. And I was happy to get, I don't want to say caught up, but just hooked on Africa. And it took my business global. It expanded my thinking, the way I looked at things. It let me understand that I had more than just one outlet, one location to express myself. That I could express myself in Africa, just like I said with the land development business. It's not just limited to U.S. It's not just limited to anywhere, but I was happy that Africa was my next step and my main step, probably the most important step in business that I ever made, the most important step in family that I made, just like your mother did with you guys. I did the same thing with all of my children so far. My last son just left Senegal studying, so he's the last of 7 that was there, that came to study, that got introduced to the culture, got introduced to the language, and increased their religious footing. You know, so it changed my life. For sure, it changed my life, and it's what my people prayed for.
Right.
You know, they didn't even know how it was going to come, but it came.
It came.
It's a prayer. It's a prayer answer for sure.
Listen, man, when you start talking about the power of prayer and just kind of what it does for you and how it changes the trajectory of your life, I'm a witness.
Yes, sir.
I'm a witness.
Yes, sir.
Ghana is a majority Christian nation.
Yes, sir.
Senegal is a majority Muslim nation.
For sure.
What are some of the misconceptions that people have about Islam in Africa, or that people have about being Muslim? What are some things that people just don't know that you could clear up?
The first thing is that African Muslims are not violent people. They are peace lovers.
Because a few always give all Islamic nations in Africa a bad rap.
Completely bad rap, overhyped. You know, you know, there's a lot of hype. I've traveled throughout Nigeria, all the countries that I named. Most of them I traveled in those countries and spent time in those countries, and I have never witnessed violence here in Africa amongst the Muslims. I've never had a conversation with anyone that was promoting violence, trying to influence me to be of a violent type of way. Only peace and love. Love first. You know, so that's what I experienced. Like I said, my first encounter with Sheikh Hassan Cisse, and it was all about love. He didn't know me from a can of paint, but he
prayed for you.
He prayed for me. He took time out, a lot of time out, and fixed my situation. So that was complete love, you know. So that love is what I connected with, and that's my whole connection to Africa, is love. You know, so out of that love, you won't find nothing but peace.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
And would you say that if you lead with love, that's what you get back?
That's exactly what I've been getting back. That's exactly what I've been getting back,
Right.
and it's tough, you know, but it's still so beautiful. Inside of all of that, we see the beauty of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I know that you've built in Atlanta. You're
Yes.
still building in Atlanta.
Yes.
Still have projects in Atlanta. You're developing communities and doing real estate business in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Talk about some of the what was your biggest project in Senegal?
My biggest project in Senegal was a place called Bambilor. It's a project that the country of Senegal and one authority in Senegal called the CDC,
Okay.
which they build homes, affordable housing, social housing they call it.
Okay.
So me and a partner, we built there. We're still building there, and it's a great project. It's a new city. They call it Bambilor. It was also a part of that thoroughfare, that toll road. That town came together because of that toll road. Easy access. The access is much easier.
Which
now.
way you building, we going.
That's the way.
So
we
how many housing units was that?
Okay,
Or
so
how many have you done, and what's the whole thing?
we've done 50 so
Wow.
far,
Okay.
but the project itself is more than 4,000.
Wow.
So there's several builders inside of the program, several developers inside of the program. So it's a big project.
That's a big project.
It's a huge project. It's a new city.
4,000 units is a.
4,000. It's a
Wow.
new city.
So how is the government of Senegal? We're in Ghana, but this is Diaspora Link.
Sure, man.
Right? And
Sure.
we not.
Yeah,
We don't do that.
I understand. No gangster.
All of Africa, all of Africa is our birthright.
I understand.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
No, with no doubt about it. With no doubt about
Yeah,
it.
Is the government of Senegal in general
Yeah.
helpful? Like, is it? There are always going to be challenges,
Sure.
but as a businessman, right,
Yeah.
who travel back and forth to Atlanta,
Yes, sir.
Who's you got some car, you got a car, at least one in
Yeah.
Senegal. I
Several.
done came to your house several. Right?
Yeah.
I done stayed at your building there.
Yes, sir.
You told me, bro, you got a place to stay every time you come.
Yes,
As
sir.
somebody doing real business in that country,
Yeah.
has that invitation extended to you feeling like I'm really welcome here?
For sure.
Okay.
It's home. The government is very easy to get along with. They protect their people. They protect their rights, their properties. They don't bring any issue. They support the projects. They do what they say they're going to do. And it's been good. So far, so good.
And that's important.
That's very important.
Don't what you say you're going to do, especially for somebody that is moving back and forth bicontinental or
Yeah.
around Africa and back and forth to
For sure.
to Atlanta. Do you see yourself ever never going back to America?
That's difficult because my parents, number one. Family, number two. Parents, family, number one still. And also business. We almost 500 years invested in a place. And we have a duty also to keep cultivating.
Right.
We have a right. We can't run from it. I won't be running from it. I won't be running because it's mine.
Right.
I got a birthright there too.
Exactly.
You understand? And even more so than others because of the contribution that our people made.
Right.
I mean, they lost, just on ignorance and a whole lot of other stuff. And it's our right to get as much as we can out of the United States of America. It's important for us. It's important for me.
Right.
It's important for my family that we get what we're supposed to get out of America, and we don't run from it or treat it like it's poison either. You understand?
important.
Yeah, we're not going to treat it like it's poison. We're gonna do what we're supposed to do and live that American dream. And a part of that dream is that I don't have to be a prisoner to America either. You understand?
Say that one more time, because I never heard nobody put it like that.
I don't I got to get my part of what's there in the U.S. as well. I'm African American. You understand?
Right.
So I want to make sure my American part is covered, and my African part is covered. I've invested, my people have invested, our people has invested a lot, gave a lot, beyond blood, sweat, and tears. They gave life after life after life after life, and we got to make sure we recover from that.
Right.
In every way.
In every way.
Especially financially.
In every way.
Yes, sir.
In every way.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you say, or what is your idea of, let me change that around. How do you think the diaspora can help the continent of Africa? The black diaspora. Like, what's, how, is it our job? Is it our role? Is it a choice? And like, what difference will it make? Like, I see you laughing because I know, but let me hear you talk about it a little bit.
Number one, it's not a choice, it's obligation.
Okay.
Me, I know it sounds crazy, but if it was up to me, if you was African American, I wouldn't allow you to travel anywhere outside of America unless you go to Africa first.
As a requirement.
As a requirement.
Before you go to the islands, before you go anywhere.
Anywhere.
You got to go to Africa first.
First.
Wow. Talk about that.
Because understand that it's that boogeyman. We've been psychologically tripped out that Africa was, I mean, I don't even want to say it, it's embarrassing, a jungle.
Right.
They got roads, running water. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's how bad it is. It's like you so well educated on everything except yourself.
Wow.
Overly educated. I mean, on everything except your natural self, who you are, where you're from. They say if you don't know where you come from, you definitely don't know where you're going.
Right.
So we have to let you go where you come from before we can. First.
Ain't leaving, no passport stamps, mandatory.
Mandatory.
I love that.
I'm just telling you. That should be first for us.
I love that.
And so that's, it should be shameful if you're well-traveled. We the only group of people that you could find well-traveled but never been to Africa, never put a foot on the continent of Africa.
You know what's so crazy, bro? It's so many places that I want to go. But I haven't, because every time I'm using my passport,
you come to Africa,
and I got to buy a ticket, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, let's go to Europe. But there's so many African countries I haven't been to.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not judging people who haven't, but
sure.
it's just...
Sure. Same here. I feel the same way. Like, and I feel bad because I listen to people, I talk to them, and they say, yeah, I'm trying to see where I'm going for vacation, and all I keep saying is go to West Africa. That's where you're from. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to make another type of connection. It won't just be for taking pictures on the water. How many beaches you've been to?
Right.
But how many times have you been visit a place where your people are from? Because, you know, when we do our ancestry, we got all kinds of mix up in there.
Right.
You know, I mean, same thing here when the West Africans and other people, because, you know, but we definitely got all kinds of stuff up in there.
Right. And
we should just come here and put our feet on the ground. We have to. It should be mandatory. You shouldn't be able to travel nowhere else.
I agree.
I said it.
Hey, look, I got your back. I got your back, bro.
Yeah.
I got your back.
Even if
I just hadn't thought of it.
Even if you just do a 2-day layover.
But you got to come here first.
But you got to come here first.
No.
We got to get that out of you.
You got to get that, and then you can go anywhere else you want to go. You can go, but come here first. You know what? And it's some.
Yeah.
Some of these people, we gonna make them spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some of them, they can't go back.
So they can just get it all out of their system.
And we sending you to the bush.
You hear me? Right. Get you straight. We got to straighten you out, bro. We got to straighten you out.
We're going to send you to the bush.
And you saving lives. Because
and they don't know that.
Yeah,
that in a lot of ways, you saving your... I've yet to find somebody here. Like, even people who've chosen not to come back,
right.
They still found their magic here.
They did.
And most of them, if they admit it, they running from this thing that's pulling them. if they're really willing to admit it, they're running from this thing that's pulling them. So you made a name for yourself in Atlanta, right? Because, you know, and I got to tell everybody in the air this, you know, we can't front where we from. You know we can't front. I met you through my boy,
Yes,
who
sir.
I grew up with in Trenton, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Who from Liberia. Shouts out to Moose, my brother. Trenton makes the world takes you. I already know what to do.
Yes, sir.
And I got him to start coming to Ghana with me. He like,
Yeah.
bro, the last time I've been to Africa was years. He's like, you got to meet my mentor. And you remember that night I showed up at
Yes,
your
sir.
crib in
At my
Senegal.
house. It was wild.
And since then it's been on and popping,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Beautiful.
So I wanted just to say that here,
Yeah.
that it's been a blessing and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, same
But
here.
you've made your name in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You made your name in Senegal. What's happening in Ghana? What we doing in Ghana?
So, like I said, Senegal spiritually it took all of that time and all of this time, and still, I'm on my way there. I'll be going there the next few days.
Right.
It took all of that time that's just been my base.
It's a forever journey, right?
It's a forever journey for sure. And it's just that I just have to always keep touching that base. I feel like I got some superpowers that I get from there when I go and sit with that powerful energy there. So I'll never stop going.
Right.
In Ghana, I'm finding that the people have been so lovely, so easy to work with and to deal with, that they have a very humble spirit about themselves. And I really just appreciate it. I think it's going to be just the best thing ever for my business. I'm taking my time.
That's important, right?
That's very important. I'm taking my time. I've went fast before. I don't want to go fast anymore. I want to take my time because this stake we put in the ground, we want it to be there forever. So it takes time. I'm just really appreciating the city. I appreciate the people because of their humbleness. You mentioned about Christian, Muslims. I hadn't seen nothing here that resembles issues.
Or conflict
Or
at all.
conflict.
Peaceful coexistence all the way through, right?
I have not seen anything on the ground here that even resembles conflict. You know, I stay right across the street from, currently in Ghana, my home is across the street from this big mega church. So, and they do church on Wednesday and Sunday. So Wednesday and Sunday, I leave all the windows open so I can hear, man. I mean, I love it.
They get it in. They go in, right?
I love it,
They
man.
go in all day.
Man, everybody looking so good going in the church, man. And it's just, I like it, man. You know.
As a man of the soil, I don't have to ask. You already told us that it was up to you. Every black person in America got to come. They can't even leave America
mandatory.
unless they come here.
Yeah, you get a stamp, like an African stamp.
Right,
on
but
that
as
tag.
somebody who's done tourism, you've been in and out of Africa for 20 years, bro.
Yes.
And you've done some business, right? And you haven't done some small business. You've done some big business. You've done some major business on the continent.
Yes.
And you're doing some major business in Ghana. Now, you have people from the States who want to do business. Some people might want to come and invest $10,000, right? Somebody might come and want to invest 50. Somebody might want to come and got some partners. They got a couple million.
Right.
What advice would you give to any of those people across the board who they don't have the experience that we have coming back and forth? And I haven't been coming back anywhere near as long as you and doing as much as you, but what advice would you give anybody who's looking towards Africa for business and investment?
I think for business, period, you have to enter through the right door. Because money and finance sometimes could bring out some bad stuff.
The worst in a person. Let's just put it like it is.
And you know,
Like it is.
sometimes they say that coupled with poverty could be a bad mix.
Right.
But I tell you, that coupled with greed
Wow.
is really the bad mix.
It's a real bad mix.
Because poverty don't make you a crook.
Let's say that again, man.
Yeah, that don't make you bad. That don't make you over thirsty.
Right.
Greedy folks.
And there's greedy people everywhere.
It's the greedy is what really was bad. So the advice that I give people entering into a new market is to find someone, connect with someone that you trust, or somebody want to be here, then they better find Mr. Diallo and connect with him and enter through that door. That is better. And go slow. Because, you know, us people, African Americans, we our own set of people.
Right.
We our own tribe.
Right.
That's what it is. We our own tribe. So what we're doing now is that we're building up a base of our own tribesmen that's been in Africa, in Ghana, in Senegal, and these other countries that's doing business that we need to be connecting with, even if it's just for advice or consultation. Right. Because you can't enter the wrong door, get really...
It's a long way out.
Yeah. You won't leave with your money.
You might leave with something. Hey.
I didn't want to say that.
No. Let's tell them how it is, man. You might leave with something, but you ain't going to leave with your money.
With your money. So, you know, you could make a solid investment and it would change your life because it's double digits in Africa. You know, you got every powerful, the Chinese are here, everybody's here, and they ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere.
They would have left a long time ago if it wasn't no money to be made. They ain't going nowhere. They digging deeper. They going harder.
Wow.
And it don't make no sense why our people, our tribe of African American, we got to make up our mind that we want to be a part of that movement. Because how did someone else beat you to your own town?
Man, you know
how
what?
did somebody beat you to your place?
Man,
how is that?
Listen, my brother. Listen, man. What I told you in the beginning, I knew that this was going to be an interesting conversation because no matter how much we talk off camera about some of the same stuff, there's always something that different come out. Unfortunately, our time is up. But my brother, like I said, I appreciate you. Yes, sir. I'm glad that I caught you here.
Thank you, bro.
You know, on your way through and that you agreed to come. No questions. Yeah. Bro, I got it. I'm there.
Yes, sir.
I'm there.
Thank
you for sharing the real.
Yes, sir.
My brother, as always.
Love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Stay
Love you
strong,
too, bro.
man. Yes,
Peace.
sir. Peace.
Thank you so much. Oh, man. Powerful conversation. Diaspora Link, exclusively on GhanaWeb TV.
You're doing great things around the world. Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Diaspora Link here exclusively on GhanaWeb TV. I'm your host, Diallo Sumbry. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. As always, we're going to leave you with some of our ancestral wisdom in the form of a proverb. Today's proverb is, the best way to eat an elephant that's in your path is to cut them up into small pieces. Thank you again. See you next episode.
and thanks for joining us on BizTech on GhanaWeb TV with me, Ernestina Sewa Asante. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta appeared before Parliament on Monday to submit the mid-year budget review statement. This is in accordance with Article 179 of the 1992 Constitution and the Public Financial Management Act 921. My colleague Na Oyo-Kwote was in Parliament and she gives us the highlight of the Finance Minister's presentation. Stay tuned.
Hello there and welcome to another exciting but special edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. Today we bring you highlights from Parliament on the Finance Minister's presentation on the 2022 mid-year budget review in the August House. We'll also be taking some reactions from both the majority and minority side of Parliament. I am Na Oyo-Kwote. Stay tuned.
Mr. Speaker, this statement is an abridged version of the mid-year fiscal policy review of the budget statement and economic policy of the Government of Ghana for the 2022 financial year. I respectfully request that the entire mid-year fiscal policy review of the 2022 budget be captured in the Hansard. Mr. Speaker, on 17th November 2021, I presented the government's program to build a sustainable entrepreneurial nation anchored on fiscal consolidation and job creation in the 2022 budget, the GhanaWEeb budget. Our macroeconomic targets were designed to get us back to a path of debt sustainability and increased growth. Mr. Speaker, the impasse in Parliament and subsequent development after the presentation of the budget in November 2021, both global and domestic front, have created enormous challenges for our economy. The deferment of the passage of our proposed revenue measures undermined the credibility of our budget, leading to heightened investor concerns, credit rating downgrades, and closed access to the international capital markets. These happenings, Mr. Speaker, have led to severe pressures on the cedi, which caused the currency to depreciate significantly. Additionally, in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, a situation Mr. Speaker, additionally, in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, a situation that worsened the already weakened global supply chains, exacerbated by high financing conditions, the surge in food, fertilizer, financing, and building materials and fuel prices that manifested in soaring inflation domestically. These have had a debilitating toll on the costs and standard of living of our people. Mr. Speaker, food prices are rising, fuel and transport fares are up, the cost of borrowing for businesses and households has increased, the cedi has depreciated, and the economic outlook has darkened significantly. Mr. Speaker, this state of affairs is quite a painful one for me to report to you. It is hard to see our people lament about the prices of basic commodities. These are difficult times for government and indeed for the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to discuss the issue of our return to the IMF. Yes, I know this government assured the nation of a Ghana beyond aid, and our plans and programs for economic transformation have been designed to achieve just that. And indeed, I did say that Ghana would not embark on an IMF program. We did not just say it, we also took measures towards the attainment of that objective, including the passage of the Fiscal Responsibility Act and instituting a number of irreversibility measures, and also launching the Ghana Cares Obatampa program for economic revitalization and transformation. Unfortunately, unprecedented global developments, Mr. Speaker, over the past 2 years, especially in these last 6 months, have really and truly disrupted our efforts. Governments across the world have had to change course to tackle the current crisis. Governments that less than a year ago were busily talking about energy transition and green and cleaner fuels have gone back to firing their coal plants. Governments that are known for low taxes are now raising taxes to tackle growing deficits. These are not ordinary times, not for Ghana, not for Africa, and certainly not for the whole world. Mr. Speaker, just as we did in 2017 and 2020, government is resolved to continue to provide the necessary leadership to turn the economy around. Let me assure you, on behalf of the President, that we will do it again within the next 2.5 years. To do this, Mr. Speaker, we'll proceed with great caution, thoughtfulness, creativity, and grit. And as the old adage says, we shall hasten slowly. Mr. Speaker, our iconic National Builders Corps program, which was initially run for 3 years and extended for an additional year, will be completed by 1st September 2022. The program, which engaged 100,000 young graduates, has prepared thousands of them for the world of work. So far, we have invested approximately 2.2 billion cedis. As they exit, the current cohort on the program are encouraged to take advantage of the Youth Start initiative and other assistance programs in our drive to build an entrepreneurial nation. Government's policy is to support dynamic young entrepreneurs, access training and funds to build their businesses and become a significant pool of job providers for their fellow young people. In spite of the underperforming revenues and strong external headwinds, we are not seeking additional funds in this mid-year review. We are determined to efficiently use the windfall from the upstream petroleum sector to make up for our revenue shortfalls and aggressively improve our revenue even as we rationalize expenditures. Mr. Speaker, with this backdrop, I now proceed to give details of development for the first half of the year 2022 and also provide updates on the outlook for this year. In the light of the significant changes in the global environment and our own unique challenges, we have revised our economic growth estimate for 2022 to 3.7%, down from 5.8% as stated in the 2022 budget. Mr. Speaker, the 2022 fiscal framework has also been revised to the fiscal performance for the first half of the year, including shortfalls in the expected yields from the new 2022 revenue measures, the implementation of the 30% discretionary expenditure cuts and other expenditure measures announced by government earlier in the year. The other expenditure measures are the moratorium on foreign travel except pre-approved critical and ostentatory travels, 50% cut in fuel coupon allocations for all political appointees and heads of government institutions, including SOEs, effective 1st April 2022, the moratorium on foreign travels except approved, pre-approved critical on statutory travels, and 50% cut in fuel allocations for political, including SOEs, etc. The structure of the economy is still largely primary, despite the numerous attempts to structurally transform it through various industrialization programs. We are heavily reliant on primary commodities extractive industry and are price takers of the market. Our capacity and productivity remains low in both the public and private sectors. These are huge inefficiencies as well as limited skills to foster our development and improve the standards of living. In this regard, any adverse global development impacts us negatively no matter how efficient we manage the economy. This is what we intend to reverse. Mr. Speaker, that is why the President's vision of a Ghana beyond aid is critical. It is to reduce our vulnerability to global shocks. Over the last few years, the implementation of our flagships, including the 1D, 1F, the Planting for Food and Jobs, the Road and Railway Development Program, and our recovery program, the Ghana Cares of Batampa, will add value to our products. To increase productivity in both the public and private sector of the economy, to drive our transformation agenda, government will implement programs such as the Youth Start, as well as the training and retraining program to enhance the skills of Ghanaians, especially the youth. Mr. Speaker, predictions on a changed global outlook since the war has manifested. According to the IMF, the outlook has darkened significantly and uncertainty is exceptionally high. The downside risks about which the IMF had previously warned have now materialized. Mr. Speaker, there is no crystal ball in predicting when these uncertainties will end. The pandemic, which has been at the root of the current worldwide torment, is far from over. Crucially, the global weekly average of COVID-19 infections has surged from 470 to 895,000 to 1.08 million between 31st May 2022 and 22nd June 2022. Even though the active infection rate in Ghana stands currently below 500, despite harsh economic sanctions and tacit diplomacy, we are witnessing a war of attrition in Ukraine with no end in sight. Monetary policy adjustments to tame surge inflation may persist over the medium term. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance will work with the Bank of Ghana in the coming months to provide emergency financing in the case of shortfall within the law, given the current unpredictable and challenging environment. The Bank of Ghana is also taking measures to help reduce inflation and has introduced critical measures to help stabilize the city, which is to exercise Ghana's first right of refusal to gold produced here, and for the first time in the Fourth Republic at least, build a strong gold reserves culture to protect the city as we move forward. Mr. Speaker, I serve a president who has shown by his deeds that he is deeply committed to the welfare of the masses of our people. Ours is also a government that is not afraid to make hard choices for the good of our country. I want to appeal to Ghanaians to keep faith with the President and his team. We know things are tough now, but we have a plan and the will to drive it. Mr. Speaker, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here to outline our programs. I'm grateful that we continue to engage and find sustainable solutions to our challenges. God indeed bless our homeland Ghana and make us great and strong. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit.
Let me start by saying that Ajegong, things fall apart. Things fall apart in the sense that credibility matters a lot in economic management. Forecasting is everything. The 2022 budget, I recall when it was read first in November last year, got investors very jittery, and as a result, they started exiting Ghana's market. Today, the minister's media review of the 2022 budget is worse. The budget, the media review document that he just presented is nothing but empty. nothing but empty. We have a country that is in crisis economically. Everything in this country is not working. Yet the minister responsible for finance appeared before us and said nothing. He failed to address the very concerns of the ordinary Ghanaian. Today, he comes here once again only to tell us that he has missed all the targets he set in the 2022 budget. Every one of them, he could not achieve it. Everyone, he has missed them. Only for him to propose target that he's going to miss again in the year 2022 by the end of the year. For example, the Bank of Ghana reported to us that in the first half of the year 2022, June, the fiscal deficit is approximately 6%. Only for the Minister of Finance, who has already done first half of the year fiscal deficit almost 6%, to tell us that by the end of the year, the fiscal deficit will be 6% again. How possible? How possible? At the time that you have revised your revenue down by 3.7 billion Ghana cedis, you have only cut expenditure by 1.8 billion Ghana cedis. So in total, the net effect is that you are increasing your fiscal deficit by 2 billion. Yet he's telling us that the fiscal deficit is coming down. How can this be possible? Again, our minister responsible for finance informed all of us that the GDP growth for the year 2022 has been revised from 5.8% to 3.7%. I beg to say, even the 3.7%, he cannot achieve it. Fitch has just informed us that the GDP growth for the year 2022 will be 2.5%, the worst ever in the history of Ghana. Colleagues, things fall apart. Things fall apart. Unfortunately, we do not have the competent hands to take Ghana out of this mess. That's true. We do not have competent hands to take this country out of the mess that we've seen ourselves. Ajegong, yes. Things are out of hand. I'm disappointed in the statement today as a Ghanaian that I am thinking that if a country is in crisis to the extent that your debt is unsustainable, when you come and appear before the people's representative, Parliament of the Republic, first you have to speak the truth. Second, you have to speak in a way that you get public buy-in. It's a missed opportunity. The minister has missed an opportunity to tell the true state of Ghanaian economy to the people of Ghana, for all of us to accept it and get a buy-in. Unfortunately, we only heard propaganda and things that are not possible, only for him to report to us that he has missed every target and is going to even miss more.
The Minister of Finance addressed Parliament as part of his obligations to Parliament as provided for in the Constitution. The issue of Article 1798 came to the fore, and he made it clear that he was not before us to move a motion, but to make a statement. As you may be well aware, under the Appropriation Act, we provided for a ceiling. So once the minister is not going outside of the ceiling, it is only proper for him to update the House as to what he's using the appropriation for. And this is what he came to do. So in simple terms, the minister did not come to seek parliamentary approval. He already has that approval. And every expenditure he's making is within that threshold. So you realize that even in the contribution of Honorable Haruna Idrisu, he did not attack the minister on any possible unconstitutional conduct, because the minister was well fortified by the provisions of the Constitution. So again, anybody who may attempt to suggest that there was a requirement for a motion to be moved may be in error. I would proceed with these veritable words as relied on by the Minister of Finance at page 43 of this 53-page address. This is what he says per paragraph 82. We concede that times are hard and things are not what we desired. But we believe in the overcoming spirit of the Ghanaian people, a spirit that does not cower in the face of challenges. It is this spirit that inspires us as a government to provide the leadership that is required. All of us know, as a matter of fact, that the MPP government, upon assumption of office, took immediate steps to implement without delay every single social intervention program it promised while in opposition. In doing so, government did not even attempt to increase taxation. Rather, government reviewed the taxation we inherited from the NDC government, review in terms of some of them being reviewed downwards and some being repealed completely. And in fact, for emphasis, the e-levy is the first major fiscal policy in terms of taxation that government introduced. The first major. Of course, somebody may talk about the pollution levy and all that. Those are minor levies. But I'm saying that a major levy that was introduced to address some fiscal challenges was the e-levy. Again, it is of importance for all of us to remember that when the NDC was in office, Ghanaians cried on the NDC government for a reduction in electricity tariffs. This, the NDC government, it could not do. But when the MPP government under Nana Akufo-Addo assumed office, without increasing taxes, electricity tariffs were reduced between 17 to 30%. Household enjoyed rebate, corporate enjoyed rebate, bulk purchasers or bulk users also enjoyed rebate. These are facts that any person who does not even like this government at all can attest to. So it's a matter of fact.
That's it for BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Na Oyokote. Over to you, Ernestina.
Thank you, Na Oyokote, for bringing us up to speed on the Finance Minister's presentation in Parliament. Up next is Biz Headlines. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has announced that government is seeking to reintroduce the collection of tolls on some selected roads to generate revenue for the payment of some debts. He stated that site works are expected to commence in September 2022 on the Accra-Tema Motorway and Extension PPP project, which is currently at the procurement stage. The minister also revealed that the draft concession agreement between GIIF and MORH is currently under review by GIIF, MORH and the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Finance, after which the collection of road tolls will begin. Meanwhile, road tolls were abolished in the 2022 budget after an announcement by the Finance Minister in November 2021. The monetary policy of the Bank of Ghana has maintained the policy rate at 19% after 807th meeting. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Ernest Addison, explained that the decision is due to the current inflationary trends, which are expected to decline in the coming months. He added that the central bank will, however, continue to monitor macroeconomic development and will act decisively. Government has revised the country's GDP from 5.8% to 3.7% for 2022. According to the finance minister, the revision of the GDP growth target and other macroeconomic variables is necessitated by the current economic hardship on the globe. Delivering the 2022 media budget review in Parliament, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta explained that in the light of the significant changes in the global environment and our own unique challenges, we have revised our economic growth estimate for 2022 to 3.7%, down from 5.8% as stated in the 2022 budget. The finance minister added that apart from the revised overall GDP growth rate, almost all other macroeconomic variables have been revised downwards. Government will require between 7 billion and 8 billion cedis to address certain difficulties among financial institutions following the banking sector cleanup exercise. This is according to the Bank of Ghana Governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, who explained that despite successful reforms in the financial sector, there still remain issues with some financial institutions. Speaking with journalists during the 107th Monetary Policy Committee press briefing in Accra, Dr. Ernest Addison said, "We had a successful financial sector reform in cleaning up all the financial sectors. We cleaned all the weak and insolvent institutions, but we found out that there are a few more institutions that are also insolvent." The Bank of Ghana governor added that after 5 years of the cleanup exercise to restore the sector, which cost about 21 billion cedis, some financial institutions were still facing difficulties. He said the development has since become a headache to the central bank since 2021. Consumers of petroleum products are going to heave a sigh of relief as Executive Secretary of COPEC, Nkommo, has predicted that fuel prices are likely to drop from Monday, 1st August. He noted that the downward review of these products will be between 3% and 6%. Nkommo, however, noted that the drop in petroleum products will not be really significant due to the depreciation of the local currency against major trading currencies. He, however, called on government to bring out policies that will help deregulate the pricing of petroleum products. This, he said, will cushion consumers amidst the price hikes on petroleum products in the country. Thank you very much for joining us on today's edition of BizTech on GhanaWeb TV. This program airs every Friday on the same platform. But before we go, do log on to www.ghanaweb.com for more stories. Do well to follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the GhanaWeb. On YouTube, GhanaWeb TV. I am Ernestina Sewa Asante. Do have a blessed weekend.
Mr. Speaker, you just deferred the matter. We will respect your ruling. We will respect your ruling on the matter of the referral to the Privileges Committee, but to state that what the Honourable Member for Domi Kwapenya is doing is not right and is not acceptable. We are only disagreeing on procedure, on how to proceed on this matter, and will be guided with your expectation. So, colleagues, God bless you all.
and then safe journey and travel message. The Speaker, once again, thank you. And to the clerk and the able staff.
Mr. Speaker, no law that is made is sacrosanct. You do know that. Mr. Speaker, yes, we added pollution. It's one of it. Mr. Speaker, if we have to reintroduce it, and it will not be reintroduced until we don't listen. Because you have not even thought about what is intended to be done. That is why we are saying that what is intended to be done is to go the electronic way. You will not understand. That's why you're asking me what does it mean. Mr. Speaker, so the good book says, those who have eyes to see, let them see. Those who see where we are coming from know where we are coming from, and of course, because of the messianic effort of this government in rescuing us from the shambolic performance of the economy which we left. When we come to the debate, when we come to the comments on this, we are ever ready for you. We are. It's not about, we'll do it. Because if I have to yield to Ato to begin it now, I will say I'm ready. There's nothing under your sleeve. There's nothing under your sleeve. This is not propaganda. We'll be talking to facts. We will be talking to facts, not propaganda. When you go out there, you can do your propaganda. Here is the facts and figures.
Mr. Speaker, you just deferred the matter. We will respect your ruling. We will respect your ruling on the matter of the referral to the Privileges Committee. But to state that what the Honourable Member for Domi Kwapenya is doing is not right and is not acceptable. We are only disagreeing on procedure, on how to proceed on this matter, and will be guided with your expertise on it. So, colleagues, God bless you all, and then safe journey and travel message. The Speaker, once again, thank you, and to the clerk and the able staff.
So what is a Kumasi Boswa? I no quarry you, the crapini besi say you, I no quarry. Tracy Boachi is Legon landlady, and a rare wedding, Nkommo Woho, a dear nim, and they made Timmy one CBA banners, a revelation, violence, a deachin. I'm a brony, Nkommo Woho, my baby, and my baby standing in a woman, to my young cry. Ye ain't try your information, a day. Oh, Tracy, ye trendy. Order for me more quaba. na me say just say me dey asempa nenam ai Tracy Boache ereware na just say where dey ne dey Kumasi dey na just say dey acheche o say ku Tracy dey so ba be ye we no besan so asang na echi akokumasi ho na dom na ne celebrities afa flight ekọ one wonam kwan so one dey say walk ahead weeks later ni nyam dey komo ne ba bebrew na wonim say adwumenti e da ye na ye wo hono man hu say ye blogger Zion Felix wonim say na ada twotwomucho ye Tracy Boache o posti some flyer bi say Tracy bachelorette party na mem say wo enyo no kware are na isle go online dey da be no onya akunu no ba be ware na dendem anye ndi tumifo na munje ndi a ene ne sa to odoso Tracy Boache ene ya branti bia wo frɛ no eye Frank Bedunti Amwa wo chema oye actor we di sini twem we di bia but say dey o base wo Germany na wo so wa be ye word man for so enye no kware ebinum say no kware obi say kosi say ebe hu bere man anim ne yeri nje dey na me say obi na de ne hu na wakwa ko list etchie hu ebusia no so be ye word na wo social media out here on ho na wo ye dede nti Zion be post ye bachelorette fly na man for de hu na yeso mu de entwen ye hwe say Tracy na kasa be come out na je say ye no kware ye wo ho ani hu say Tracy posty bachelorette party. It was a black theme bachelorette party. Maybe say bachelorette party. The party kakra bridesmaid and bride and warrior kakra ahead of a D-Day na ankasan. And you be na warrior. Now one say, oh Tracy, they be able to say Tracy dressing in cut. Now one was at her their commas. Oh, now who ye makeup on point, hair on point. She was looking her best. Me and many kasa baby say be me many fake fans. No quarry. Na just what the party she share so. Na ade chain ye who say na na tornado na friend asibulanga but me dem ring kebi but the new one me wonim na Fia Schwarzenegger posti at say as I arrive from airport no chirima wedding nti na wa bedu and check kwa na hu say Fia posti Tracy one of ne pre-wedding photos at say on Frank he just say what's ne kuye bi mu ne ade no cho say any in-law no congratulate Tracy Boache na pictures ni dey fe na hu say very ma kentin ka very ma gram hu say OCP I say mustache kakra beard gang yo creepy ahun offense so embo ne tina don so abakoko no de ahun fe kra na nkasa na mafo chem say hey Tracy ye nim da se wunum krom na mafo keka bebe fe ne ye do nkomo ne so ankasa na mafo kasa na papa no na yo no ana na hun se wo se ne bageli nhye ne na me se da bi me pamocho ha de enye kokonsa na ye di me de minim say ne papa wo ye DNA test na mini ho Tracy so mba out and because ne ba girl last born on Frankie ba na mamfuche ma ase won sen ntie bia na enyo but wo pekasa dodo asem na aba na da pon so ye na ye discuss ye Tracy word that is wo pese won kwotwetwe old videos me nina mo me hu se won pull out video because won se na Tracy bo gospel na minim da ni nyomba say try again won say nyom ni bida na akọ YouTube Tracy Boache na o de ahye try again o feature your brother Sami say old videos na Tracy ka say ono de then also they no hia ne say obarima bia obe satisfy ne sexually on hia yes en say me bebre baba fa bu say ya ba ya addition ade amayin te say wo honom na say bia o feel say be living your life but no measure be measured say na bofo no work no we can say be na na kwakoyi uka but say de asem den say Tracy Boache say o ye Mrs. nti say yen fa na Tracy ya Boache bi mu be fa na Tracy Bedunti Amwa unze di na ye kama nkasa say na ye kan say Tracy congratulations mom say papa no na ye Nkommo Woho actress big girl na Tracy koje no say den na fa hin ko si hin say de menua bia kwakoje ring nti adro bia enka dem na say the East Legon landlady Tracy Boache nsem yukogu a mama yembonra other camps ai munu say Nkommo Woho de amaboni de say unhumisa na say information de da ha say na menam Twitter maka say Twitter say na mo beka ni bia na mekohu movie producer actress Yvonne Nelson post bi no chirema eduru edi abranti bi o say abranti bi ba interview pe adwuma na just say unze obede get up information just say social media ni ade okohwe a oje ni hand obisa so udin wa use what Twitter yes okobokohwe a say wa block abranti na kire say abranti get sakasa social media bullets na ya wodidi nkrofo atem na manfo say we hu ubejina eyi unya se na nana baba kan unya 2 CDs band bi na bejina eyi Twitter and social media na mu didi nkrofo atem de say nkrofo betumi ato adua ma betumi ahwemu generation some didi won atem won se fe de ho na akire na evon kire ma wutumi ba be se wa beje adwuma fi me nchen bra wa didi matem da na mafo nso se me ne bade na obi a share ni opinion mafo chema no nipa no so qualified na fa adwuma ne ma na wa ya wa nti ana den kufa do kra wa ya on ba mafo you should my munya botare kakra because sometimes say wo social media na wo se na kofo kan kofo se ma say wo na wo gina ho ba bi no oni ma sem ni bi kwa no entwa to say sometimes it baffles me but even else in chirema mo amu hu obi da mo nim baby ote na mo tina social media na bi bia mo ya nkrofo no mo mreba na munya botere kra na mo de mo behu yam twiaso asenna nsani muneni as a pastor love and your papa Christian love ne former husband as a woman na chese drop bomb ni ade pastor love chirema how be your popular ne nkofo kaka ne ho asem ni nyina ye ware egu ya one gospel musician Papa Christy o chirema ware ne egu ya pena nkofo befi ne yire ne former wife ne camp na fede okaka ne ho nsem ochema o say one time bi kwa Captain Smart bedidi na tem bekeka ne ho nsem no information o hwe ma hu say Captain Smart interview ne yire nti o kire ma san kofo na wo hihye sumase efi ne yire camp sa na o kire me de minim san kofo na wo fi ne yire camp na wo didi na se no wa na wababa ma na ba ye unpopular na say o how bi ni ade ni nya bem o say ni no blame Papa Christy but Papa Christy say de news e da ho ne so celebrate 20 years in music into also the concert ba be hyehyɛ so information be di nyina echi no ama broni ma be san nyina egu ha amam ora fo fila wo ho ankasa be ka say na wo twa mu be ka say radio presenter Kofi Adoma nsem be ode betu dwa na ne no ka so chiti na ode che nsem ne de bebre na ye flesan ka esi ho no ma ka che say na manfo ebo na echi sa wo chiti wo then time mu girlfriend so a na say wa kofe echi akwakowo a ade ntia na be na amawari you de san so be kai na ode ne papa asem ede nim san ka esi ho no ma ye gusu to aso ya na wo twa na ye hu say ye Kofi Adoma hu say che say YouTube yo ko ho no ma ni videos ono akasa achi camera esi ne so no so ene de interview obia ono so ba be kan ni femu de ko so won say enkwafo explain ba ma futire ma che say kasa dodo na ya mo ma enkwafo benya for say me anka wotwa so na wotwa so asa anka ba na anka ye twa so ba say o ma ma fo ho time ama cancel lutros class we ye child so say we ye too emotional so say very man tinari asen kasa sa na cancel aka o say wakasa too much adena why na nkasa tankwa na won ware nti you don't even owe the world an explanation but asa wakasa ya adoso nti Kofi Adoma yes I interview ya me Kenya na ye hu say kola bi aba se na ye ne yere miracle e de be also one friend Mrs Miracle Adoma and no shame Kofi cut the life and then no very more done gidi no say tie for me di besi here that's right hey mama beka say check no na ye ne check na mafo say na akwa ye say very man na o ba munja masem utodo ma na obeti ase unti ase ave be kase na oyire kai na odi so o kai na odi so nim no nso nya wo fie unni ho me ne that time we were not there but Miracle enso interview oye the last time no nso chirima wo yo bia warefo a ukunu ya ade a o se obeye ne den obe discipline no obe punish no na we are cover up feminist from one yard but sister wa ukwa ware ma na wakasa be hu se na obeye won nyama nyina na obeba out abeka ba we hu se Miracle dey say mani kunu revelation no stopping so Kofi jai kan but menim ne eboru Kofi mu no so di nyama bi ya tudwa but bibia asia say yenso ye di yesuade ntamafo nyi bibia na be kasa the time say when your opportunity say we be kan bibia bi mpo na be say glorify no but we ask for the year enti ase won no nipa no there you are okay with it but eba social media obiade na no betumti asemba nya abotare aya nyumtuni kwabna me dem me confession like why one of me oldest crush and you dey foot obi akoma merima mo krom hase enye krom hase kwa baby a wo hye bia o kire ma won se wo siso a make sure se won for bia ware fa je se won aye no ho ade je se list ya je se bibia mamre kwan so enka bida so bia ware fo bia wo best friend ana se oye wadan fo se debi obia ware fo nya wadan fo wo baba no se obia ware fo de ne only friend eye ni kunu o se meme bu onu ma na o chema my best friend is a married woman o se eno so hwe if ma fo chema e bia na eduredi kwabena ne nsi na ode se futu na baba mama for me to me nche na ne ebe fa ne se na wakase obi awarefo nya wadanfo nti mo amone nam na nkofo yerenom my best friend my best hwehwehwehwe na asram no kwabena chema munjai sadin na nyakopon pesa Nkommo aye disu de dey say me ankasa me observe say ebe co violence mu I was just surfing around I mean Twitter when I me who say content creator, YouTuber, and I best can be a Kojo Sheldon. A screenshot some lady be post. Also a friend say I'm powerful. A year Oregon 2022 event here Kosuna to say some Jamaican athletes be sprinters just say walk it a world record and kasa when winning medals a tournament team cry. Now a lady I friend say well or making some posts be chirima more Africans be proud. Now hair extension be wigs colored yaya mushe it doesn't speak well kamo kosa world stage na and kamo rock mo natural hair na say way I make and one say social media looks like she owns a brand out tones a natural hair product in identity she's a natural hair enthusiast and e be kanene na se me odebe to na ode sha se wo se ai sa wigi egun wonti so de there is no way say ga ba say be a critical thinking na ade bia ye de ya adwen ya omo betumi a qualify na ade a wode won na ye ene kwa na obetumi aye na just all sound social so say they are clowns na ne be hwe Jamaica for you post yi ene wa agwo no ba ni post na say any attempt did fire born you they say what did my man na say di America no okọ eyi restricted comment section but answer no obedi sa adwuma na Ghana food bia kokugu no so say say why you could have made your points and say kaka wan ya obi and describe we say we clowns na they could have not sister I won kasasa we say woman to woman we can advise them so we they use a long hair extension won tell so kakra na sa ya obi ewo mu na ya sister pehin na ama Meka se na hwe na ama na bina ba de bi enye ono na meka na ba na mo senior journalist edin nsem so beto o chema say why you are sick adena woka nsem bone fa ukofo ya just say we are celebrating them enye o de wan kasa o de just google their names na hwe records o mukita just say what about a fastest way omunyina o kana why would you come and discredit them and no to be sheshe ho na sister they say they no ho afa na nkasa but o chema she's still maintaining ono don ba apologize say o say mo amuheshe sa long way e was our world stage munja she but wo de wa de call sister page so Facebook now de wa ko hu attempt dia o heshe amafo chema she's the female version of Bongo Ideas. Emi wo krom ase mo fa mason film kakra ye nua ba sister Fiodo Fiodo na nkasa de ye futu kesi bia kwa aman o sese wo ye obia na so be ma bi be se o pe na abomodin abisa ne so ofi hifa na okobie na no ka che so ofi tem sune sister bounce no o se heartbreakers o se you de mo onu ankasa na epai na enum tom o se tema boys hey o se sister you will regret it in the tema boy bia na sister idi be asem be to Twitter na che se girls be to pio say hey na wonim Chrome has say ye ka heartbreakers remember just say what chimie ni dia anka tema boys na memfo de nsem beto to but ye nim say tema boy bi na break ye sister yi heart and I say here say because say take it from me never date a man on po use n word no say never date a man from temamafo nti u dokoto be me bi o ofitema u be koso etie sister efia odo advice ya na say u be ka say u be pass me de say sister efia odo kan so onu na wakokrom na ode Nkommo na bant me de metie no wo ye tema boy na bia wo ba e bia na ma shedan fa ma adua ma ko sister efia odo say mo ye heartbreakers but mo me gina efia odo nsem no so mo me ye ntwan ho kakra say ye koba fela no nyina me ba drop ya mamu Sanso ma wakwa aba Nkommo Woho na je se weli kusu a wohwe na unse na watwi de se mebresi na ne edu twem pa ye can promise oti ya no so album be 5 stars say they want launch album na event na se no that one him say can promise there he loves style like I say classic man and Kasayaka Ghana for artists just say dressing on points, flow. Just I love his brand. Now events yes, in brave teacher for any doing new copias and colleagues to be brave for supporting me who says Sakodi Sujina Hobina. It was a black tie event, and I said, Memory, what is he to so Ankasa? And only Pana Ankasa no anything. Who says huge beer or shaper? It was perfect. And you say be a make crash one as I said dress in the day ye beka. Na just say in some be brain be more honum. No so de na ye de. Ama for watch my say album no su ye hwan man kasa. Na Omale feature was so ni bisa Kede wo Vic Mensa chance na so was so just say normally de ye de. Na who say events as na hwe say bia he for ne do ni kwa kopie honum ye hu say ye French ambassador no so de ni kopie o hobby na ye member of parliament I Northton ye Samoku that are black or no to de ni kopie o hobby no chema oh no there he's just trying as much as possible to support the creative industry nti say the man for say unya ye can promise 5-star album bi unya ntie ya no abomodian no hakotie nti say can promise why ya de pan. Say the Ghana day we are winning big. Yeah, by international stage are we on top. There's nowhere to say boy to say obienya award be a big thing na umbo Ghana fooding. Amare, I got a new to neighbor fancy who say Onakaso Kitani own vibe. That lady is something else. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. They say movie to say Abeda, Black Panther 2. I said I'm a back to they say November yeah, they are coming out with a new movie. Now Wakanda Forever movie bay, Bankasa Amare. She has been featured on the soundtrack or no so they say Kita original song. I Onakasa originally. From Ghana ni Amare, I just say take credits. I friend a body a coffin. It's just a movie no so eba out in November. I will better say Yenya Bay voice Eda Siboko. Na Thames I Nigerian num to no so was to be with other musicians, but this is a big deal pa. Na news ba out in a hammer. Of the last two, a producer back up on so chema say the eka Ghana for to say SL Ghana to the world Obeni ni Kamido Kidi Black Sheriff and Marine. That's why Bosanko for Abaso chema baton na di kan for ne be ye no the omo baton that is omudi gwangsa say Ghana to the world. In Marine here can say we are so proud of you cause so na bo adwuma no na news ni ba sanso yen so be bo abaso na nze just hey Ghana to the world obetiase. Once I baby na wobus and as I nye bill say ye term mojema ubenya asem na quarter pon. Na wonu say Black Sheriff young rapper there in semi betudwa ye busumi ye twemu ni ye Shadrack Owusu ni former management wo chirema breach of contract nti wo tebri abranti call court man so won na won pemu there wo say won fa bubi nto no so na be ya no nwom ntumi perform no say hey na abranti am perform nwom be ye enye bi edidi but say the information abetoja ne say court a chema say this application wo atwem branch bet me akoso apefam nunum but management no wani nje nti won so ochema memko pre-trial na say a judgment ha betodwa no so wo hwe ni nse wetumi asan so adan ya mani ana but amafo chirema e bia nka mo settle asemi out of court but amafo so say wonim how investors say obi di uniska talents bi mu na say echide akwa yet say bia nkoyi you don't even know say onipa no so elusi but amafo wo chirema asemi de nka mo mayen twa so na yen hwe cause say there Black Coin is winning big for us. So, Nkommo energy ni na concentrate on pushing the brand. Na mama yenja esa na ekoye. Nti Shadrack ma fuchema ye pa mo chopa. Mama yen asem no so na yen koye ni. Pa ya dia osaye yi. When yi na ya men say ni dim beze me release me rap na mama say there's now what talent. Me de be share with you kaka. Countryman songo I sports presenter. Was also a show host. Ochema time I watch motor basic school. Then time na on a man penny back. Zenato Ajiman Rollins and an eco school. Now one time be just say Nkommo dina kasa say Nkommo dini yem. Come ya wo. I just want to know what the cars in there was a baby dream na ade no cartoon ni anze president be na etiwe. Na asa on kitani we bi oba benum tea bi ni toast bi no call no so Zenato how are you no so Jesus come man penyi ba ochema that time no work school just say she's so calm collected do nipa just say oh Muzanga bian command penny baby ahoma so 247 no of days o se debi and yes anana na zenato ete nti okwa no no bi no so bisan so na examination se na ye friend country man so na ni dianka sa na mo de friend and I said then so me nua komode me anka sa na o zenato so oh you can have it no de ni toast ni tea man no me also no dey say asem no dey already ni rearing fida na say when dey beto no san so twema say one time some a work school na zenato rally work so obem for just obi a wa benga oh jai also wa benga ma wa show oh speech and prize giving there so super awards ni nyina na say when dey beto dwa na ma for react na say ya tete say zenato no ye me pa ba na enim say just started dey na enye new ba ma for twema zenato sa trait na wo no ho no Ebi ano you heritage fini papa ho ana sene mama but songo chema Zenato Rollins one time o savino from okoma na emu ye yawo ankasa Mommy dollars is in the house. I want to do any trade social media. As some food be recoso. Big Ivy Ghana ni there's a obia pensions in the near fikakra. CJ Bigama ne mame. I was a rap on Mammy Bunso one Nigeria friend Mommy dollars. I comedian Oluwa dollars ne mame. Some rap battle be I just said Mafu Chema just said the Ghana in Nigeria the judge a lot of battle no city the rap. Now and check quite in a video be battle CJ Banama ne mame je say nickname Big Ivy or rapid to some line be beat behind the banner de man. Na betu na Nigeria focus mo be share. When na betu me a battle Big Ivy. And then you honey say mommy dollars from Nigeria accepted challenge no so be the video be battle out. I say me and we near fear they are just having fun. I just say fake. But say the man for Chilima say the Ghana 2 Nigeria 1 because Big Ivy released 2 songs. I'm mommy dollars and so I replay me one. But man for Chilima mommy dollars every year slow. Yes, she say mommy dollars from Nigeria. Ebe reply Big Ivy. But man for Chilima Ghana all the way. Means me routine my Big Ivy. Say Big Ivy defending him who say yes you got this. Now my best horror so cry. Grammy Award Nigerian musician Burna Boy Akasa. And Ochema no de Kase be your best answer correlation. When it's only a Steph London first they were dating, but say relationship na kwako gua. They say when you na shady one. Burna Boy is hanyum last now only you go chop Steph London ne former girlfriend initiate no so num say e woman no so aba be shade na ne ade say odo sa ampa na to ada pa but Burna Boy trema so best answer call out in a relationship I just say opobia no stress ibio no akeka no sanso di two just of sanso hwehwe bia obetumi anu aduan anye bia jollof rice bi ni ade wan sha dan kasa egusi kwaso ka egusi anka me dan ka me feli enti Burna Boy be ka so opobia no stress otumi sanso anu aduan na me so we there this is the time for me to shoot my shot enti me check kwa me kwa so akakowura ni DM na ma send me bia e be fa ma me na sisters ma mo nya word me you overtaking no me declare me intention me mo fa me enkwa ya dibia but some for nim say na watwe de in seminal Tracy Boachi all the way sister Tracy me tu chema o just mo amuka say enye yo ebeye yo mo nyina back to sender send man for chirema but Tracy what we ni makasa cause am say na nkofo keka so ebia na nka enye but anye ngie tu me nyina drobia nka dem Tracy Boachi akoje ring they say they find Mrs Tracy bedunti amwa na se ne Nkommo no sama boni se anu yi eda so wo hoidi ye nya zama for the baby wo boni se do say etiri nto ya ye nja cheswa nti midimani di echi information bi ebedi nsem ya me bekan na echi in latest trends in the entertainment industry mechichi ni nwana ma basuma medama se musum ji ebre amohwem
It's another exciting edition of Talk Attainment. As usual, I am your host, Elsie. Our guest for today is a diplomat. She loves everything Ghanaian, everything music, everything culture, everything arts. Yes, don't forget, her job here in Ghana is also to promote French culture among citizens. And that is exactly what we're about to find out, as well as more and more and more in the world of entertainment. I'll introduce my guest to you shortly after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break. Like I said earlier, we have here a diplomat who I usually describe her as someone for the people. She's liberal, she's down to earth. That's how I describe her. So, Her Excellency Anne Sophie is here with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for having us at your beautiful residence.
Thank you. Welcome. Akwana.
Oh! And what else do you know in Ghanaian language aside Akwana?
Mania J, Semewo, GhanaWeb.
Okay, that's a nice try.
That's for having me.
That's Chi.
That's true.
Aside Chi, which other language?
Oh, I'm already struggling with Tree. But sometimes I try, because, you know, I've come to realize that you come to Ghana, so people tell you, you know, one of the main languages is Tree, so you try and learn Tree. And then you go to Jamestown, it's not very far from here, right? And then people speak Ga.
Yeah.
So you go to Ho, or the Volta region,
yeah.
People speak Ewe. And then you go up in the north, and people speak Hausa,
yeah, Dagbani,
and you go, really? How can they actually communicate?
So many languages.
So many languages. It's so I'm trying to learn a bit of Tree, but yeah, it would take me probably another 20 years posting to manage to just sort of butcher other Ghanaian languages.
Let's come to music. What were some of the sounds or Ghanaian music you heard even before coming here to Ghana?
Let me be very honest. France has very, very close links to Francophone Africa. Yeah. So the musicians that we know in France usually are from Francophone Africa. So we know this kind of music, which is exotic and some rhythms, reggae and this kind of stuff. But the language is French. So it's easy for us to relate. And Ghanaian music is very diverse. I mean, it's not just high life, it's hip hop, high life, dancehall, reggae. You guys can do absolutely everything. Afrobeat. And it's probably because of historical links. The bridge goes to the UK and the US, but really passes above France. So and when I arrived here, I discovered this music, and I thought it was American. I thought it was American artists, because the quality of the music, the quality of arrangement, the quality of the sounds was so professional. When you don't really pay attention to the language that is spoken, I thought it was American. And even when you listen to American rappers, they've got their own language, so eventually you're not even sure it's English. I thought it was American music. So then I got to adapt and meet with some artists, and I was like, but you are actually Ghanaian. I mean, what you produce, you mean you didn't record in America? It's actually Ghanaian. And I got to I did my homework going through the several amazing artists that you have in Ghana, and I'm just blown away by the quality of what they do. And the UK, US have spotted them immediately. Quite a few artists are doing collabs in the UK, US, and then they're shutting down some huge
arenas.
In the arenas. It's just very impressive. So I thought, hey, this quality of music, this professionalism, this creativity, and the youth sometimes of those artists, that tells some things about Ghana. And this somehow is a brand ambassador for Ghana. And I've got to work on that, to put Ghana on the map for France, and also use some French artists to be more known in Ghana? Because you don't know many French artists, do you? And sometimes the one you will quote are actually Belgian, which is great. We like to call them French, but they're Belgian, and they sing in French. But so